that an agent can do, or an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
can do to
Yeah.
to really kind of get that traction? What would you suggest?
Well, I would say an agent in this day and age, more so than ever before, and I never used to say this because I think that personalities, there are certain agents, they should go solo and do it on their own. But a lot of agents should join a team. And I think most agents in this day and age should join a team.
Big it up, big it up. Yep. Clear him up. Yeah. Here we go, go. Yeah. Here we go, go.
All right, I'm here with Dave D'Alessandro with the DD&Associates team out in Fairfax. Why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit who you are, what your structure looks like.
So we're Team DDA, as we're known. Came from our founder, DD&Associates, and she started the business in 1990, so a long time ago. I joined her as her very first buyer's agent in 1998. Came from teaching high school and coaching soccer, and I was her son's soccer coach, and she said, come and do real estate. And I said no to her several times, and then finally did it.
Finally did it.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then when she was pulling back from production and eventually ready to retire, my business partner and I, who were both buyer agents on the team, decided to buy the business from her. So those of you who are agents on a team, just wait for your team leader to retire.
Right.
When you're ready to retire,
Right.
yes.
They'll be there. So
Yeah.
so you were, let me get this. So you were teaching,
Yes.
coaching,
Yep.
soccer, not thinking about real estate at all. You were in completely different industry,
No.
on a track, on a trajectory.
Yep.
And then and what how did that, I mean, you said you were coaching the soccer. How did she approach you, and how did you decide that you were going to give up your career, what you had done your
Yeah.
whole life and trained for, to jump over to real estate?
Well, I think it was, she saw me in a team meeting with the parents, and we were going through some decision making and changes in this youth team, and saw that I could handle talking to some people. And then she was getting busier, selling 30, 35 houses on her own, and really needed an agent. And she had tested out a couple of agents with some experience, and just decided to let me find the person, and I guess I was the person, and said I'm going to teach them her way, my way. And so I came in and just watched and learned, and kind of threw myself into it. Was done teaching June of '98. My daughter was born July. And I needed to make more money because mom wanted to stay home and raise her, and she was a teacher as well. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make it, or I'm not. And I made it. I made my teaching salary that summer, and I was like, one summer doing this and making what I would make in a whole year teaching, because in Fairfax County you got paid once a year, and after taxes, once a month, sorry.
Okay.
And after paying taxes and everything, my paycheck in '98 was $1,612. And that was for 1 month of work. So I was like, okay, I think I can do this real estate thing. So I guess at the beginning it was money, but it was also a way of helping the family kind of do what we wanted to. And mom wanted to really stay home and take care of our daughter, who's now 24.
20, wow. So a couple of decades later.
Yes.
Right.
And a few kids later.
Right. And a few kids. How many kids do you have? How old
So I
are
have
they?
4 kids now.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, 4. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, we're the same.
Yes.
4.
Yep.
What are the ages?
So it's 25, just got married, 24, 21, and 19.
Okay. So yeah. So you're
3
busy
out of the 4 in college.
at the same time.
Yes.
Okay. So you need to sell some real
Yes,
estate.
yes.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
And so how did and then tell me about your partner, Jen. I mean,
Yes.
you said you guys were.
Yeah,
was
so
he-
Jen and I, my business partner was a friend from church, and he was also a teacher. So he saw me make the transition in '98, and it's like, all right, guess if Jay can do it, I
Jay
can
can
probably
do it,
do
anyone
that.
can do it, right?
And so he joined me in 2002 as the next buyer's agent. So our team went from Debbie as the listing agent, Jen and I as the buyer's agent, then eventually grew to 4 buyer agents. And then in 2017, we were at about 11 buyer agents, 12 buyer agents, around there. 3, 4 listing agents when we purchased the team from Debbie. And now the team is 35 agents and a staff of 14 here and several virtual assistants, international team as we call them, overseas,
Wow.
who also assist on the different sides too.
Wow. So all in all, you guys are over 50.
Over 50.
Over 50
Yes.
staff and team.
And we are a team, not a brokerage, so strictly a team
Right.
with
So
the
you're not the
XP.
broker.
No, we're not the broker.
You're a team lead
We're a
running
team,
this
yeah,
huge
team and
huge team.
selling between 500 and 600 homes a year.
Wow.
A lot of it in Northern Virginia.
Okay.
We have agents in DC and Maryland. We stay pretty close to the river in DC area that are contiguous to Virginia.
Yeah, and so tell me, so Northern Virginia. So what is, you mentioned earlier, Fairfax? What is your what is your core area?
Core area, Central Fairfax County. So that would be like Annandale, Burke, Springfield, Fairfax. That's kind of where we do 70% of the business.
Okay.
And then 30% is all
Everywhere
around
else.
that area.
Okay,
Because
so-
we have people moving in from other areas or moving out. So we have agents who live all around the area in the county, and a couple in Maryland, two in DC.
Okay, so you're
where
doing
we do
400. You're helping 400 families right in that Burke
600.
Springfield.
600,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, six.
Yes.
Okay, and then 70% of those in that Burke
Oh,
Springfield
yes,
area,
yeah,
and then
that's what you're saying,
the
yeah, and
rest
then the rest in
around.
the outskirts
Okay.
area, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you ever think when you were, I guess, coaching soccer and in school and trying to start a family, that you
No.
would, from then, that
No.
fast forward 20 years,
Yeah,
25 years,
I
you'd
love
be,
teaching and I love coaching, but I think those things have translated into working with the team, because I'm still teaching, I'm still coaching. I mean, you're a team leader, so you coach, and we're doing that coaching part of it too. It's just a different topic.
right.
And then having accountability, and then gently pushing the agents to that next level. And our team is really specialized in bringing brand new people from different careers, or right out of college, or
Okay.
right out of whatever careers that they had, right into the real estate business. So about 80 to 85% of our agents were never real estate agents before.
Okay. So
Kind of
that's-
like Jen and I were. We
Yeah.
were not real estate agents before when we joined Debbie.
Yeah, and it's not like you guys aren't doing like poo-poo numbers. I mean, you guys are doing a huge team. So you're taking. So it's not like like you said, most of your agents aren't previously with another company
No.
coming over.
They're not coming over with
Baggage.
$10 million, $20 million of production, nor baggage. I mean, the only baggage really is their inexperience, and we have some young people who, haven't bought a house. So one of our core values is really help agents in the first 3 years buy their first house, because we want them to be able to experience, and we have a grant program for the agents to be able to do that.
That's awesome. Tell me about that. How does that work?
Yeah, so one of our visions is really helping them build. So it's really, home ownership is the most important thing, and then giving them a path to buy investment homes. So we have several agents who have kind of combined and gotten together to buy an investment property together. We've also just joined Grid, which is our whole investment arm, that we are helping the community to create a community of investors who get together and create ideas, share ideas,
Okay.
how to buy short-term rentals together, how to do a syndicate together, how to do buy and hold, how to flip homes, and we do that together. And by introducing it to the community, it's also introduced to the community of agents on the team as well too. So they're learning while they are teaching others.
And growing.
Growing,
Yeah,
yes.
and that's pretty cool, because you and I bet that helps with the culture and the stick rate. Like how
Yeah.
how long from on average, because people grow and
Yes.
sometimes they grow and they move on, but I hear that you don't seem to have that
No.
issue
No.
that everyone else has. Your people
Yeah.
seem to come and they stay.
Well, it's not that we don't have people that leave. We have very few after the first 6 to 8 months who leave. Some people, they get into the business if they're
Yeah.
brand new and don't realize the challenges of it and the schedule, and they'd rather do the 9 to 5, and that's fine. So we have a few people at the beginning that it's not for them. But for the most part, I haven't looked at the averages, but we have agents who've been with us 10 plus years.
That's awesome. That's
and
amazing.
Jen and I came to the team, never left the team, became the owners, but we also have our 2 sales managers came right out of college, and they were transaction coordinators on the team, then moved into being buyer agents, then now are sales leaders on the team. Our COO came as an assistant 14 years ago and now is our COO. So a lot of it is growing from the inside out. And then we have a bunch of agents who are 7, 8, 10 years on the team. We have some new agents too who just joined us over the last 14 months, which a bunch of them are here at this event.
Oh yeah, speaking of that, so we're at the Edge event in Norfolk.
Edge event. Yep, Palm Ferry Edge event.
Yeah,
yes.
And how did you get your? I mean, how do you get? You brought like what 20, 30
20,
people?
22 agents, did 3 Airbnbs right near the beach down here. So yeah, certainly it's time to get to know each other outside the office, but also to be fed and learn here and have that camaraderie and have that community in here, which I think is important because I get to see some of the true personalities come out. Yes, we know the business side of it, but then now we're getting to see some of the personal side of it too.
Yeah, and we learned too that the just industry wide,
Yes.
it's a lot. Yes, you can make money in real estate, but it's not. I always say there's not enough money to do it just for the money. So
Yes.
getting your team to stick together and stay together
Yes.
for as long as on average, to have that average stick rate, you're really doing something special. And I experienced it when I've been talking and meeting some of your team members.
I can't really take a lot of the credit for it. I think that you bring good people together who are driven and good things happen. And certainly we want to create an environment in our office and in our community as our team to be able to let them grow and flourish. So some of it is just organic, a lot of it is organic, and that's the best part of it too. We just create the platform to be able to do it. Part of being at this event is that they create the platform, and then some of the growing and learning happens, and then hopefully from that learning they take it and implement it, right?
Right.
That's what we're hoping for. Every time we have our weekly meeting with our agents, sounds great, but then are they going to go put it into
Actually
action?
do it.
And are they going to do it fast? Because some people are amazing at doing that. And then the other thing that I remind people as they come in here is you can have 10 ideas, get that 1 or 2. Get that 1 or 2 that you can do, that you're going to do, and you're going to stick with it for 60 days so that it becomes a habit.
Right. Awesome. Yeah, that's good. So your trajectory is you're doing more and more transactions every year. That's cool. And your team is growing.
Yes.
Too. So tell me, okay, real estate aside, what do you? I know you have you're doing some of the nonprofit work. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So DDA Love has been great for our team. I actually don't lead it, which is the amazing thing. I think that sometimes as team leaders, we want to do everything. And we have found a lot of success in terms of finding somebody who has a passion for something. So we have many agents on the team and staff members who have a heart for the community. So, we support 5 different organizations in that Northern Virginia area that we support. Food for Others is one of them that we do food drives all the time. And then we do the day of service. We're also doing scholarships for some high school students. And we decided to pick not the smartest kids to give the scholarships to. I was not the smartest kid at my school, so we call it the Resiliency Award. So it is a student, a teenager coming out of high school who doesn't have a 4.0 or even a 3.5, and sometimes not even 3.0, but they worked through something really hard in their life, and now they are making it, so we support them in terms of their college venture too. So we're involved in a lot of the community that way, and the agents have kind of chosen which ones that they want to support through the Leadership Council feedback that they have.
Okay.
So we've
you've
stayed
got
active in the community.
5 different
Organizations, yes.
and you're kind of feeding the 5,
Yes.
raising money,
Yes.
and now and the agents, are they doing their? I imagine they're raising money and donating a portion of their commission at times
Yes.
to.
All of the above. So we do fundraisers together. They're donating a portion of their commission, that whatever they voluntarily want to do, and then our team matches those funds. So we're supporting them and doing that as well too.
That's pretty
and
cool.
we've got some big plans that that will allow us to even do more for the community to impact in a bigger way.
That's pretty awesome. And so it sounds like, if I'm thinking, just reflecting on history, kind of where you guys started from a teaching mindset.
Yes.
And being of service, and then you and Jen meeting in church. So
Yes.
then your service and your faith, I
Yes.
think, has combined together to create this perfect environment.
I think that there are things that happen that are beyond us. And so a lot of those things and some of the relationships that come from, where Jin and I've started, and even the pathway that Jin took, he did not stay in sales. Something happened in his family that was challenging with their young son, and it allowed Debbie to kind of pick him and say, hey, do you want to come in to start working with me directly, because you're not going to be out in the field? So he learned the management side of it. I stayed in sales, and that's been just a great journey as well too. Not perfect leaders. We're both still learning as we go sometimes, and but I think that if we can be vulnerable and put that out there, that we are always constantly learning, like you as agents, then it creates that space where that they can grow together. We can grow together.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times, leadership gets stagnant, and when as a leader, if you feel like you already learned enough or you know enough, eventually your team will continue. The team grows. Yeah. So sometimes that's how I think the team can outgrow, or individuals can outgrow. But you've been very open and honest, and always being in a learning and absorbing mindset. Yeah. So it's allowing you and Jen to be nimble and make sure you create that pathway.
Yeah. Well, I think, when you're in this business, we're in the people business. Our people is our team, okay? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have clients too that we're assisting in terms of selling, because I still sell houses because I want to stay in that. But most of our job is really in the people business of helping those agents grow. So when I am the happiest, stole this from somewhere, but when I'm the happiest, and it made me reflect on it, is that when I'm helping people grow and learn. So when you see people kind of get it, sometimes it takes 2 years to really feel solid in this business, in any business, but I think in this business. And then also when I'm learning. So when I am, projecting it out and helping people learn, but also when I'm learning too. So those are the times that I feel the happiest. And so we get to do that every day. Yeah, right. every day. You're in the real estate business. This is not Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
Right. Or 9 to 5.
No, it's not. Yes. Sometimes it can be, but most of the time it's not.
Yeah.
Not if you're really a driver and you're trying to really build a huge community. So, what would you say to there are agents out there that are either maybe just getting started, like today's their first day, or maybe they're in year 3, but they just haven't gotten the traction that they want. I mean, what would you say that an agent can do, or an entrepreneur can do to really kind of get that traction? What would you suggest?
Well, I would say an agent in this day and age, more so than ever before, and I never used to say this because I think that personalities, there are certain agents, they should go solo and do it on their own, but a lot of agents should join a team. And I think most agents in this day and age should join a team, or a brokerage that's set up almost like a team, that sets up the opportunities to learn like a team. And if you have that accountability, you find a community or an agent on the team that you can do, or in the brokerage that you can do accountability with. Because, man, this is a lonely business on your own. It really is. It's hard on your own. There's so many different things. We are videographers, we're social media people, we're like contract specialists, photographers, going out and showing houses, contractors, psychologists, sociologists.
Yeah.
So it's like too many things, and I think the team softens that, or a strong brokerage softens that, because they give you a lot of those tools and support to be able to do that. Or you can go to a broker or go to a leader who can answer those questions or has a structure in place to answer those questions. So join a team or a brokerage that is going to give you that support, because it's hard to make it out on your own, and I don't think it's any fun unless you're a total introvert. And if you're a total introvert, it's hard to make it in this business. Yeah, it's going to be hard in this business. Yeah. So I think that is really important in terms of putting yourself in that right kind of environment, because it's hard to have consistency on your own. For me, whenever I have been successful doing it, I do it with other people. I either bring them along, or I join, something that's happening, and it's easier when you're together.
Mastermind group, support group, accountability group. Yep. That
Yep.
works. So tell me, so before we close out, give me your, who, and tell me about like your most agent success story, like an agent that, came working with you and they were here and now they're here. Like,
Yeah.
what would you say is your, and I know you have many,
Yeah.
many success stories, but which
Yeah.
one kind of stands out?
I mean, I really look at how it changes their life, not how many houses that they sold. I mean, we look at our numbers too, because sometimes the numbers part of it drives a business, and when you have that and business is healthy, then you can help more people. But I look at individuals on our team, one individual who, came from very little and getting to that point where they, bought a house and then got married, had a kid, and did all those things and succeeding now in a leadership position, and we also create a platform for what we call a leadership council. So they're in that as well, and there are a couple of individuals in there as well too. I think of one person who's here who went through, challenges where, their marriage had broken up a while ago, and then they weren't able to regularly assist and help with the kids. So now being able to set a goal where they can go visit their kids out of state 5 or 6 times a year, bring the kids here.
Right.
That's like the cool stuff that
Yeah.
gives me the goosebumps, because like that's life changing. And so when you can see that happen in an individual's life, that it really changes the trajectory of what they can do and how it impacts the family, that's just more than just the individual person just going to get a nice car or dressing really well or things like that, because those are things that change their lives forever and impact their family around them.
Right. Because you're helping people help people.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like it's one thing to, almost like a martial arts analogy, you're helping your student, but
Yeah.
if you can train the trainer, like
Yeah.
now that person is now affecting other lives. That's
Yeah.
great.
And it's always, I think, that part of it where we create the environment for it, and they're still gonna have to push themselves to kind of come along. So if you're going up in the escalator, we're gonna allow them to keep walking up to be able to do that, and we'll continue to push them up, and hopefully they're not regressing backwards.
Right, but that's where that's where the support comes in.
Yeah.
Because if they slip back a couple steps, you're right
Yeah.
there to say, hold on,
Yeah.
we got you.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and help them.
And
move
sometimes
on
it's not us as either the leaders, it's the other agents on the team that step up. And one of them was sharing with me the other day in a quiet time, said one of the agents was down and they called and said, hey, what's going on? And, hey, I know it's coming for you. The very next day, they get a past client who's ready to go out, and they're right now in the process of putting a $720,000 home under contract.
Wow.
And we've been all talking this whole couple of days because it's their very second house that they're selling. And so we've been all giving probably too much advice on how to
Okay.
get the deal done.
Right, good stuff. All right.
Yeah.
Well, if someone wanted to reach you or Jen and
Yeah.
and maybe either send a client your way
Yeah.
or maybe join your team,
Yeah.
right? How would they reach you guys?
So you can find us on social media at DDA Real Estate. So DDA is Debbie Dolro Associates Real Estate.
That's
at
easy.
DDA
easy to
Real
learn.
Estate.
DDA Real Estate.
Yep, DDA
Okay.
Real Estate. It's pretty easy, and you look us up. We're with EXP Brokerage, and
Okay.
and you can find us hopefully everywhere.
Right.
If we're doing our job right, you do that, you'll find us
Yeah,
everywhere.
well, you guys are definitely everywhere. Everywhere. See you guys everywhere. So,
Yep.
and you guys do seminars. You guys train agents. You guys really are you're giving back to the community. So you guys are really doing awesome work.
Thank
So,
you.
yeah,
Hey,
no,
I appreciate it.
Thanks
Thank
for joining
you.
me.
Big it up, big it up. Clear